Let me share a story that changed my perception about the power of thoughts and the mystery of the universe. As a child, I was a lot notorious, fascinated and passionate about the world of jet black ambassador cars. I remember vividly, I was 6 years old, sitting on the passenger seat, staring at my father with a gazing eyes and a gaping mouth, picturing myself sitting in the driver's seat one day and driving the car. Now, never in a million years did I ever think that my imagination would take up reality. It was in my sixth grade, summer break, guided by some mystical and obscure force, that I found my little hands on the steering wheel and my feet pressing past the accelerator. It would be inconceivable if I said that I felt the same escalated emotions in my hands and in my feet as I did when I was visualizing as a child. Now, whatever I imagined was painted into reality. But for except something unimagined and unfortunate happened. Well, I crashed the car. Well, I did not imagine and visualize for crashing the car. Well, who would indeed do that? I know that's a poignant ending of the story to start things off on, but that is when I first encountered manifestation in my life. Hi, I'm Harshitha, and today my talk is about the science of manifestation. I know that manifestation is a quite bizarre topic that many people call it as coincidental happenings in our lives and do not look through the human lens, the potential inherent in it to transform dreams to reality. Now, dreams and desires, it's a quite funny thing. One question that bothers me and boggles me is that why is it only an umpteen individuals succeed in bringing their dreams to reality while the rest of the people are still at the bottom of the rug? Turns out what is known as social proof. As we grow up, we're accustomed by the societal norms. We're afraid of letting our dreams out. We're afraid of being judged by our peers. We're afraid of not fitting in our society, and depressingly, all our dreams are buried deep within ourselves. Just take a quick moment to reflect back at your childhood fantasy. Have they faded into oblivion, or are they perpetuating in this room? For those of you who have succeeded to keep them alive, how do you materialize it and bring it to reality? Well, that is where manifestation comes to help. To break it down into non-Gen terms, it's an act of harnessing the power of your thoughts, emotions, and intentions in order to bring your deepest desires to life. Let me present to you a tool that you could use to weave your dreams and desires into reality and to sculpt them from the clay of possibilities to invent and innovate your lives for better. Get ready for a low-key physics lecture. Well, everything on this universe is frequency, isn't it? The light, the sound, everything. But we as humans are able to perceive relatively a small part of the spectrum. Only 1% of sound and 0.0035% of the sound. Now, our thoughts can also be considered as frequencies. There exists plethora of emotions in this universe. Down the spectrum are all of your negative thoughts and emotions like fear, anger. And up the spectrum are all of the positive emotions like happiness and love. But we have the tendency to be drawn towards these downward spectrum, and that is why we are having mood swings in the middle of the day hit by a negative thought. You can call this up spectrum as the God if you want to. Now, our thoughts can also be considered in a similar fashion to light and sound because it has energy but does not have mass and cannot be located in space and time, unlike a particle. All that we knew until 1900s about a particle and frequency was Einstein's relativity theory of E is equal to mc squared, where we saw a proportionality between frequency and a particle. And then in 1927, Heisenberg came up with this wave-particle duality theory, where every particle exhibits a wave-like nature and every wave exhibits a particle-like nature, but never at the same time. Now that you're bombarded with all of these facts, let me bring them all together and take you into the quantum field theory. Now, think of my hand as an atom and the center of it as a nucleus. There's a lot of orbitals surrounding it. Now, in order for you to move an electron from the first orbital to the next, you want to exhibit some sort of energy. Let's say we give it through photons, the light. Now, what's interesting here is that when the electron is traveling towards the second orbital, it cannot be measured as it turns into frequency. Well, can we say that the electron exists no more? Well, no, it does exist, but it's the incapacitated physics and science that we have today that cannot measure the frequency when it is not in contact with the physical matter. In the similar fashion, our thoughts can also be considered as frequencies, which can be measured only when it is in contact with the human brain. That is measured by electroencephalograms and fMRIs. And our thoughts can also be measured a little bit outside of the scalp, but not beyond that. Well, have you ever wondered where do all of our emotions and thoughts go outside of our head? Well, they do exist in this universe in the form of frequency that is unmeasurable with the current science and physics. Maybe in the future we would get technology that can measure the frequency when it's not in contact with the physical matter, because physics in itself means physical matters. Confined to physics is physical matter. In that fashion, your thoughts can also be put into the quantum field. There exists plenty of realities inside your heads. Your current reality of you listening to me is your first orbital. Let's say your dream world is to get out of this room and go grab a cup of coffee. That is your dream reality. Now, in order to quantum jump from this reality to your dream reality, you want to exhibit some sort of energy. Well, you might say that pushing the door is the energy. Well, while that may be practically logical, I'm trying to say you that your emotions are the energy. Your emotions are energy in motion that take you to your dream world. Now think of you as radio, and the emotions and that you feel are the frequencies that you emit into this universe. This universe has a lot of different channels connected to it. Whenever you feel an emotion or a thought, you're constantly aligning or tuning in to the right reality. Let me share a fact about Einstein. Now, all the theories and equations of Einstein that we have today, what if I told you were not born out of the 76 years of life that Einstein lived on this universe, but were from a parallel world or a multiverse? You heard me right. Einstein used to lay his notebook next to him and take a 30-minute quick nap. And whatever came to him in his mind during his lucid dreaming, he used to note it down in his notebook. What's engrossing here is that Einstein himself did not believe in his theories. Turns out, down the line, that these equations are dictating our lives today. Well, if we look at this topic in a slightly angled vantage point, we see that most of the innovations that we have today are a result of imagination. And in that sense, isn't manifestation the idea of everything exists now and here, the mother of imagination? Now, here's a shocker about your subconscious brain. Your subconscious brain does not know a difference between what you're visualizing and imagining and your reality. Now, a branch of math called graph theory says that there is a lot of pyramidal nodes inside our heads, which has prediction errors. Now, your subconscious brain, trust me, is like a best friend. Whatever you say, it wants the best for you. The culprit here is your conscious brain that is having these prediction errors, these self-doubts. Now, you could call me as a brave kid as I drove car being 11 years old without anybody's assistance. Well, was I brave? No, think again. Since my subconscious brain believed that this reality of me driving the car already existed, I was drove by that energy to driving the car without anybody's assistance. You and your thoughts is what creates the reality. Let me make a confession. I manifest for almost all of the things in my life, like even tiny things for even getting good grades in the classroom. Vivid visualization is the act of creating vivid mental images in your head. That is like, you can think it like you are the both script writer and the lead actor of a movie that you're directing inside your head at the same time. It infuses your dreams with your emotions and makes it feel much more real and attainable. And it makes you tune into that right reality that is existing in this universe. Now, quantum physics in the core is that every reality exists now and here. It's just we want to give it our energy by giving it our emotions and feeling how we would feel like when you've already achieved our dreams. Now, whenever a negative thought is presented to you, it is not true yet. It's just a thought in the quantum field. If I would have entered this room feeling nervous, then I would be calling this universe to not let me talk more than 10 minutes. Now, if I was dreading entering this room, trust me, I would not have gone more than 10 minutes. Whatever you are saying to this universe has ears. It is constantly listening to you and aligning your thoughts with the right people and the right opportunities that it gives to you. You might ask me, isn't action required to make our dreams into reality? Just imagining and visualizing of how we would feel like if I've already achieved our dreams, just enough? Well, no, manifestation leads to inspired action. Manifestation makes your thoughts align with those frequencies and makes it feel much more attainable. So since you're already in alignment, it's very easy for you to take the right systems and make the right actions. While the emotions and thoughts set the stage, your actions act as the bridge between the quantum realm that exists and your current reality. Let me share a story about my father. My father have always told me since my childhood that the seeds that you sow in your hearts today, the thoughts, are the ones that is going to grow as trees tomorrow, the reality. Now, he was a quite hardworking man. He hardly worked for a square meal a day when I was young. And he imagined of something to create lucrative product from almost nothing. And that is when he came up with cocoa peat. Cocoa peat is a product that comes from the coconut husk. It's just a waste material that is going to be decayed. But it acts as artificial soil, which you could call it, in most of the Gulf countries that lack soil fertility. If you see around us, most of the innovations that we have today are a result of someone's imagination, indeed. And those imaginations are guided by the manifestation. Manifestation in core itself is thinking about what you want to invent in your life. Now, amidst all the unsettling questions about life, something peculiar yet soothing and comforting to me is that you are the creators of your life. You have the emotions to manipulate and to manipulate your subconscious brain into believing that you deserve your dreams in your lives. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. Remember, amidst all the chaos that exists, only your dreams matter and only your vision for your dreams matter. And never forget to give them the life. Thank you.